Endermen are some of the most interesting creatures in the world of Minecraft. They can literally teleport through the world in a very unique way and are a crucial part of beating the Minecraft storyline. But where do they come from? I have my own theories, and today I wanted to explain it, combined with a few of the more popular theories I could find online about the origins of the Enderman. This is a part of our ongoing Minecraft lore series we're working on. And in the description, I will put a link to the playlist for you to check out if you find this video interesting or entertaining. My personal theory for Enderman, based on nothing other than it being cool, is that they are actually alien beings. The Endermen, those tall, enigmatic beings that silently wander the landscapes of Minecraft, are far more than just eerie creatures. They are the remnants of an ancient and advanced alien civilization, hailing from a dimension far beyond the world we know. These beings once possessed incredible powers, capable of manipulating time, space, and reality itself. It is this mastery over the fabric of existence that allows them to teleport effortlessly and even shift through time, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. However, these powers, once the source of their civilization's greatness, ultimately led to their downfall, corrupting them and transforming their once flourishing homeworld into the desolate, void-filled place known as the End. In their prime, the ancestors of the Enderman wielded technology and abilities that far surpassed anything seen in the Minecraft world. They could traverse dimensions, bending time and space to their will, and their civilization thrived on this extraordinary power. Their eyes, which now glow with an eerie, otherworldly light, were once the key to their dominance. These eyes contained the power to activate portals, gateways that bridge different dimensions, allowing them to explore and conquer new worlds. This ability to create and control portals was both their greatest asset and, eventually, their greatest curse. As their civilization continued to advance, the Enderman's ancestors became increasingly reliant on their powers. They pushed the boundaries of reality, experimenting with time manipulation and dimensional travel. But their relentless pursuit of power came at a terrible cost. The very forces they sought to control began to corrupt them, warping their minds and bodies. Their homeworld, once a vibrant and thriving paradise, began to decay. The lush landscapes withered away, their cities crumbled into dust, and their people became twisted shadows of their former selves. The once great civilization fell into ruin, their world slowly collapsing into the void, becoming what we now know as the End. The Endermen, as we see them today, are the last survivors of this tragic tale. Their ability to teleport and their disjointed, almost ghostly movements are remnants of their once great powers, now tainted by the corruption that consumed their race. The portals they once controlled with ease are still within their reach, activated by the power of their glowing eyes. These portals, however, no longer lead to new worlds for exploration and conquest, but instead serve as gateways to the End, a world that stands as a grim reminder of their civilization's hubris. But even in their corrupted state, the Endermen retain some of their ancient knowledge. They have learned to fear water, a substance that interferes with their powers. The very element that nurtures life in the Minecraft world disrupts the Endermen's connection to the forces that allow them to teleport and manipulate time. Water, once insignificant to their ancestors, has become their greatest weakness, a reminder of how far they have fallen. This is why they avoid it at all costs, their fear rooted in the knowledge that even a small amount of water can strip them of the abilities that define their existence. The story of the Enderman is a cautionary tale of a civilization that reached too far into the unknown, only to be consumed by the very powers they sought to master. Their glowing eyes, their fear of water, and their eerie presence are all that remain of a race that once stood on the pinnacle of creation. Now, they are bound to the End, forever wandering the void as echoes of their former selves, trapped in a world of their own making. Now, I understand that interdimensional aliens may not be your type of thing, but I think it is a cool idea. I also think I have an explanation for the existence of the Ender Dragon based on this as well. The Ender Dragon, the fearsome beast that reigned supreme over the desolate realm of the End, was not always the unchallenged ruler of that void-filled dimension. Long ago, before their civilization fell into decay, the ancestors of the Endermen, a once great and technologically advanced race, had tamed the Ender Dragon, harnessing its immense power as a weapon of unimaginable force. In their prime, these beings used the dragon as the ultimate tool of conquest, a living weapon that could decimate entire worlds and enforce their dominance across dimensions. The Ender Dragon was not just a wild beast, it was a symbol of their civilization's mastery over life and death. The ancestors of the Enderman had bent the creature to their will, using their advanced technology and profound understanding of reality to keep the dragon under control. The dragon's raw power, combined with their ability to manipulate time and space, made them nearly unstoppable, their influence spreading across countless worlds. But as their civilization began to unravel, so too did their control over the Ender Dragon. The powers they wielded so recklessly began to corrupt them, twisting their minds and bodies until they were but shadows of their former selves. Their once great society fell into chaos, and in the midst of this collapse, the Ender Dragon seized its opportunity. The creature, sensing the weakening grip of its masters, broke free from the confines they had placed upon it. No longer bound by the chains of their technology, the Ender Dragon turned against its former masters. In the final days of their civilization, the Endermen, now corrupted and lost to madness, were unable to resist the power of the dragon they had once controlled. Their minds, no longer capable of the focused thought and strategy that had once defined them, became susceptible to the overwhelming force of the dragon's will. The Ender Dragon, once their weapon, became their master. The roles were reversed, and the Endermen, now nothing more than twisted remnants of their former selves, fell under the dominion of the very creature they had created to serve them. Today, the Endermen are no longer the rulers of the End, but its servants. They roam the barren, void-filled landscapes, not as conquerors, but as subjects of the Ender Dragon. Their once proud civilization is forgotten, their minds shattered by the corruption that overtook them. The Ender Dragon, now the undisputed ruler of the End, commands them with an iron grip. The Endermen, stripped of their autonomy, serve the dragon in its endless vigil over the dark, lifeless realm that was once their home. Now obviously that is just my personal theory, but I wanted to explore a few more cool ideas I found online as well. Obviously these aren't my original creation, but I do think they would still be awesome as additions to the game. The Endermen, those enigmatic, shadowy figures that silently traverse the darkened landscapes of the End, have long been the subject of speculation and mystery. But what if these creatures weren't always the eerie beings we know them as today? What if, long ago, they were something much more familiar, something much more human? The theory that the Endermen were once a human civilization is a compelling one. And when we start to piece together the evidence, it paints a haunting picture of a world lost to time and devastation. To understand this theory, we must first look closely at the End itself. When most players think of the End, they envision the bleak, desolate landscape dominated by the Ender Dragon, with the central island surrounded by the void. But if you venture beyond the main island, flying 2,000 blocks out, you'll find more islands scattered across the endless void. These islands are home to chorus trees and end city structures that, on closer inspection, seem far too complex to have simply appeared on their own. They bear the hallmarks of a once thriving civilization, now reduced to ruins. And who could have built these cities? The only inhabitants of the End now are the Endermen and the Ender Dragon. But what if the Endermen themselves were the architects of these cities? What if they were once the very people who lived in this dimension before everything changed? Imagine a time when the End was not the barren, lifeless place it is now. Instead, picture a dimension filled with life, with vibrant trees, lush landscapes, and floating islands teeming with animals. It was a world that could have rivaled the beauty and diversity of the overworld. The people who lived there, humans much like us, built grand cities that floated in the sky, harvesting the unique resources of their dimension and living in harmony with their environment. But this paradise was not to last. Something happened, an unstoppable force that swept through the End, eradicating all plant and animal life, leaving behind only the chorus trees, the remnants of their once thriving civilization, and the haunting ruins of the End cities. The transformation was not just environmental, it was also physical and psychological. As the world around them changed, so too did the people. Slowly, over time, they began to lose their humanity. Perhaps it was the environment, tainted and corrupted by the mysterious force, that altered them. Or perhaps it was a desperate attempt to survive in a world that had become unrecognizable. Whatever the cause, these humans began to change, morphing into the tall, shadowy figures we now know as Endermen. Their once clear speech became garbled and distorted, a language lost to time. Their memories of their former lives faded, replaced by a strange compulsion to collect blocks and build in ways that echo their past as builders and creators. But why do Endermen behave the way they do? Why do they teleport? Why do they avoid water? And why do they become hostile when looked at directly? These behaviors could be remnants of their past lives, distorted by the trauma of their transformation. Teleportation, once a skill developed to navigate their floating islands, became an instinctual means of escape. Water, perhaps once a life-giving resource, now harms them, a cruel twist of fate that makes the very element they once relied on dangerous to them, and the anger they exhibit when stared at. Perhaps it's the last vestige of their human minds, a reaction to the recognition of what they once were, an involuntary response to being reminded of their lost humanity. As we piece together this theory, it becomes increasingly clear that the Enderman story is one of tragedy. They are not merely monsters, they are the remnants of a fallen civilization, cursed to wander a barren dimension that was once their home. The End cities, now silent and empty, stand as monuments to their lost world. The chorus trees, twisted and strange, are the last living remnants of the paradise that was. And the Endermen themselves? They are ghosts, haunted by memories they can no longer fully grasp, driven by instincts they don't understand, searching endlessly for something they can never find. The last theory I want to explore today is another one I found online that I find pretty interesting overall. The Enderman, those tall, shadowy figures that roam the world with a haunting presence, are more than just mysterious creatures. They are the remnants of a once human civilization, tragically transformed by their journey to the end. The theory that Endermen were once humans, much like Alex and Steve, offers a poignant explanation for their strange behaviors and unsettling existence. Long ago, these beings were builders, creators, and explorers. They were the ones who crafted the intricate mineshafts that crisscrossed the underground, the ones who ventured into the unknown, seeking new worlds to conquer and challenges to overcome. They were players, like you, who dreamed of discovering the ultimate challenge, the Ender Dragon, but their ambition led them down a path of no return. These brave souls managed to reach the end, a dimension that promised untold power and mystery, but what they found there was their undoing. The end was not just a dimension to conquer, it was a place that changed them, twisted them into something unrecognizable. They fought the Ender Dragon, but unlike you, they failed. Defeated and unable to return to the world they once knew, these explorers were slowly corrupted by the dark forces of the End, transforming into the beings we now know as Endermen. Their transformation left them with distorted voices, echoes of their former selves. If you listen closely, you might still hear them try to speak, their garbled words sometimes resembling a faint "hi," a desperate attempt to communicate in a language that is now foreign to them. Their voices are twisted, a reflection of the anguish they feel, trapped between what they once were and what they've become. The reason they become hostile when you look at them is rooted in shame and sorrow. When you meet their gaze, you remind them of their lost humanity, of the builders and creators they used to be. They're not just angry, they're deeply ashamed of their past and the monstrous forms they've been cursed with. The direct stare forces them to confront the painful reality of their existence, sparking a rage fueled by despair. Despite their transformation, the Endermen still cling to fragments of their old lives. They pick up blocks and carry them around, a habit that harks back to their days as builders. In doing so, they try to reconnect with the part of themselves that once created magnificent structures, that once shaped the world. These blocks are more than just objects to them. They are memories, tokens of a time when they were still human, when they had a purpose beyond wandering the void. The Endermen are not just random creatures, they are the ghosts of all the players who came before you, who tried to conquer the End but failed. They are the remnants of a forgotten past, of people who ventured too far and paid the ultimate price. They built the mineshafts, dug deep into the earth searching for resources, and constructed the very structures that you now explore. Their journey led them to the end, but unlike you, they were not victorious. In their defeat, they were consumed by the End's dark energy, their bodies and minds twisted into the Endermen we see today. They were once like Alex and Steve, filled with hope and determination, but now they are shadows of their former selves, doomed to roam the End and the overworld, forever haunted by their failure. But what do you think? Be sure to leave your own Enderman theory in the comment section down below and press the like button. If you like this lore approach, then like I said, I put our Minecraft playlist down in the description below, so you should check it out. Thank you all so much for watching.